Daki and Gyutaro. Daki and Gyutaro are the demon siblings sharing the Upper Moon 6 rank. One is flashy and cruel, the other bitter and twisted. But together, they're a nightmare wrapped in blood and resentment. They were human siblings born into poverty in the entertainment district. Daki, who was known as Ume, was a beautiful courtesan, while Gyutaro was a debt collector with a face only a mother could love. Left to die, they were saved by Doma, an upper moon who turned them into demons. Muzan later approved and gave them a rare privilege, sharing the same rank, something no other demons were granted. Their blood demon arts were terrifying in sync. Daki's flying obi sashes cut across the battlefield, while Gyutaro's poisoned blood sickles pushed even a Hashira to the edge. Kill one and the other lives, kill both at the same time or lose. Their fight against Tanjiro, Uzui, Zenitsu, and Inosuke was absolute chaos. The demon duo initially won but was ultimately defeated by the heroes, and when they finally lost, Muzan blamed Daki, calling her Gyutaro's weakness. Still, in their final moment, they reached for each other. Ume and Gyutaro, just two broken kids clinging to the only love they ever knew. Upper Moon 6 wasn't just a title, it was the curse of never having anything except each other. Kaigaku. Kaigaku is the thunderous demon who replaced Daki and Gyutaro as the Upper Moon 6. Arrogant, bitter, and fueled by inferiority, he wore the rank like armor, but never truly earned the respect that came with it. He was once a demon slayer, trained under the same master as Zenitsu, Jigoro Kuwajima. But where Zenitsu endured, Kaigaku resented. When he faced Upper Moon 1, Kokushibo, instead of fighting, he cowardly surrendered himself. He chose survival over pride and became a demon. As a demon, Kaigaku wielded a twisted version of thunder breathing, charged with demonic energy. He couldn't use the first form, so he compensated with lightning attacks laced with electricity and enhanced regeneration. His major fight was a grudge match against Zenitsu. During their fight, Zenitsu unveiled a move Kaigaku could never master, the seventh form, Honoikazuchi no Kami. In just one flash and strike, Kaigaku's head was gone. Guess you could say he really lost his head over that jealousy. Kaigaku died furious, bitter to the end, but underneath the rage was a scared boy who always felt second best. He wanted power to matter and to prove he wasn't weak, but in chasing strength, Kaigaku lost everything that made him human. In the end, regret became his legacy. Gyokko. Probably the most demon-like in appearance of all the Upper Moons, Gyokko holds the title of Upper Moon 5. He's what happens when you throw a cursed vase, some sea creatures, and an ego into a blender. Gyokko slithered through life with a twisted love for art and a personality as warped as his body. Back when he was human, Gyokko was Managi, a child obsessed with the dead. After his parents drowned, he fixated on corpses and developed a sick fascination with stuffing them into jars. He was eventually killed by villagers, but turned into a demon by Muzan. He can summon and manipulate vases that act as portals through his blood demon art. He can spawn deadly water-based attacks and grotesque fish demons. During his battle with Muichiro, he revealed a grotesque molt form with increased speed and durability. That fight didn't end well for him. Gyokko underestimated the missed Hashira and got sliced clean through the neck mid-monologue, ending his masterpiece before it could finish. Gyokko's tragedy isn't sympathy-worthy. He reveled in cruelty, believing he was creating beauty from horror, but his version of art was brain rot, expressing emptiness, not brilliance. Ultimately, Gyokko became nothing more than a broken vase. Hantengu. Hantengu is a cloning master and the cowardly creep who holds the rank of Upper Moon 4. With a hunched body and bulging eyes, he looks more like a terrified goblin than one of Muzan's elites. But underestimate him, and you'll be fighting 7 deadly demons at once. As a human, Hantengu was a liar, thief, and murderer who always played the victim. Even when sentenced to death, he screamed that he was innocent. Muzan saw that twisted denial and turned him into a demon. His blood demon art is both amazing and terrifying. When decapitated, Hantengu splits into clones, each representing an emotion like anger, sorrow, pleasure, joy, and hatred. Each clone has its own powers, from flight to sound blasts to lightning speed attacks. His fight against Tanjiro, Nezuko, Genya, and Mitsuri was a war of endurance. His real body or core is a tiny, terrified demon hidden inside a heart. He was nearly impossible to find, let alone kill. When he finally falls, it isn't just a victory, but it feels like a mercy. Tanjiro finds the real body and ends it with one clean strike. Even in his final moments, Hantengu clings to his delusions, crying like he's the one who's been wronged, all while snitching to Muzan about Nezuko. Hantengu wasn't built on power, he was built on fear and the lie that he was never to blame. Nakime. The power behind the iconic Infinity Castle, Nakime, is the silent and calm demon who took over the position of Upper Moon 4 after Hantengu's death. Dressed in a tattered kimono with unblinking eyes and a shamisen always in hand, she barely speaks. but her presence warps the entire battlefield. Little is known about her human life, except that she was once a struggling shamisen player. After murdering another performer out of jealousy, she caught Muzan's attention and became a demon. Her transformation didn't change her silence, it just made her deadly. Nakime's blood demon art is tied to the Infinity Castle itself. With every strum of her shamisen, she controls the castle's layout, twisting rooms, warping walls, and trapping enemies in a never-ending maze. After Hantengu's death, Muzan enhanced her abilities, allowing her to instantly teleport individuals just by knowing their location. Her death wasn't a flashy battle. Yushiro infiltrated her mind and hijacked her control over the castle, forcing Muzan to kill her by crushing her head like a watermelon. Though it wasn't what he wanted to do, Muzan prioritized his own survival to prevent Yushiro from using the castle against him. Nakime represents the quiet kind of horror. She wanted control, but instead, she got popped like a swollen pimple. Akaza. Next up is one of the strongest demons, the brutal and battle-hungry Akaza, who holds the rank of Upper Moon 3. With pink hair, blue markings, and eyes that literally spell out his rank, he looks like a walking curse seal. But beneath the fighter's pride is a tragic storm of pain. As a human, he was Hakuji, a poor boy who turned to street fighting to support his sick father. After multiple losses, betrayals, and the poisoning of the only people he loved, Hakuji snapped. Muzan found him at his lowest and turned him into a demon. Akaza's blood demon art enhances his martial arts to supernatural levels. He can fire destructive shockwaves with a punch, predict movements with compass-like sensing, and regenerate instantly. His weakness, but more like his riz, is his refusal to hit women out of respect for the fiancé he lost. His most iconic fight was against Kyojuro Rengoku. Despite Rengoku's unwavering spirit throughout their intense battle, Akaza managed to kill him before sunrise. But instead of feeling victorious, he was consumed by guilt and regret. In his final battle against Tanjiro and Gyu, Akaza regained his humanity and chose to let himself fade away, stopping his regeneration as a final act of atonement. Akaza didn't fear death, he feared being weak, being alone, and forgetting who he was. In the end, he remembered and chose peace over power. Doma. Doma is the demonic cult leader with strength and power only behind Kokushibo and Muzan. With rainbow-colored eyes, a serene smile, and a fan in hand, he looks more like an idol than a sadistic killer. But behind that gentle facade is a monster with a freezer for a heart. Born to leaders of a twisted religion, Doma was worshipped from childhood, but he couldn't feel joy, sorrow, or guilt. When Muzan found him, Doma was already numb. Becoming a demon just gave him the tools to save his followers by eating them. His ice-based blood demon art allows him to create frozen lotuses, blizzards, and chilling attacks with just his breath. His body's ice-cold temperature slows enemy healing and dulls their senses, but poison, especially the one Shinobu makes, proves to be his downfall. He killed both Inosuke's mother and Shinobu, but paid for it in the end. In his final battle, Kanao and the poisoned Shinobu take him down from the inside, literally. As his body dissolves, he finally experiences emotion for the first time, and that is his love for Shinobu. Doma wasn't empty, he was broken from the start. He laughed at death, smiled through murder, but when he felt something real, it was already too late. Kokushibo. Lastly, the undisputed strongest upper moon, Kokushibo. Possessing 6 eyes, a katana fused to his flesh, and a presence that crushes the air around him, he doesn't just look deadly, he is death itself. As Upper Moon 1, he stands just below Muzan, feared even by other demons. Kokushibo was once Michikatsu Tsugikuni, a powerful samurai and the twin brother of Yoriichi, the greatest demon slayer in history. Jealousy poisoned his soul. While Yoriichi shined with sun-breathing, Michikatsu could only trail behind. So, he chose immortality, becoming a demon to escape aging and outlive his brother. Talk about throwing shade at the sun. The fusion of his blood demon art with moon breathing creates chaotic crescent-shaped slashes that multiply mid-air. Combined with superhuman speed, regeneration, and combat experience, he was nearly unstoppable. In his final battle, Kokushibo fought Genya, Muichiro, Sanemi, and Gyome all at once. It took blood, limbs, and everything they had to bring him down. But the emotional toll was his final deal. He crumbled after seeing his reflection, monstrous, hollow, and far from the samurai he once was. Kokushibo didn't want power, he wanted worth. But in chasing legacy, he lost himself. To him, becoming Upper Moon 1 wasn't a reward, it was a monument to envy and the brother he could never become. That's every Upper Moon explained, from tragic pasts to terrifying powers. Whose story do you think hit the hardest? Hit subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll catch you in the next one.